Hi, I'm Sophie, and I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm here to help with that. And we are
SP Film Viewers.
Peaches, peaches. Everybody on the streets is. Everybody loves peaches.
I don't know what you're doing.
That is my own original song in the voice of Randy Newman.
Who?
He's the musician who did the music for this. He wrote the songs and everything. But you'll probably know him more from the "You've Got a Friend in Me" and the I don't know if you remember the one at the end of Bug's Life, the credits.
You gonna sing it
What's
for
a
me?
bug, little bug, hardly there, doodle-doo-doo, doodle-doo-doo-doo. They probably don't remember that one.
Not as much as You've Got a Friend in Me, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but no, I was just thought it'd be a funny thing to do rather than.
I was waiting for a line.
There wasn't many ones when I looked up for things to do that wouldn't be like before, like getting proper into the story or anything like that. Not just like almost like a throwaway one that would make sense. So I thought I'd just improvise a little bit. And so yeah, throw you off.
Thanks for keeping me on my toes.
My impression of Randy Newman was spot on for everybody who knows who he is. And thinking, yeah, that sounds exactly like him.
I don't think it did, now that I know who it is. It sounded a little bit more simple.
Well, I mean, if you listen to his voice, he did the end of the song at the end of the film was him singing, so.
I can't remember what that was. Oh my god, I'm so bad.
Anyway, people, we are talking this time about James and the Giant Peach.
If you hadn't gathered. Because that was so self-explanatory, wasn't we? Because we kept on banging on about peaches.
This is a childhood favourite of mine, really. From seeing it in like first school and stuff. I saw this before I saw Nightmare Before Christmas all the way through. Because I'd only seen bits of that on like TV and stuff, not all the way through. So, and it was the same director, and it kind of shows in the style that he has for that. So I think this was. I know obviously Nightmare Before Christmas was a big success from the get-go, and it's like the follow-up to that. And I think it was probably not. It didn't do like particularly great, I think, but it's kind of like one of those cult classics almost kind of thing. Not to everybody's like, oh yeah, definitely agree with that sentiment, but it's like a small following, I guess. For
yeah, definitely. There's loads of merchandising stuff out, isn't it, for the Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff like that.
No, I'm talking about James and Giant Peach.
Yeah. No. I have a question. So you're saying Nightmare Before Christmas came out before James and the Giant Peach? Really? How old is Nightmare Before Christmas? I still don't think it's a Christmas film, but
it's like one of those in between Halloween.
It's more. I feel like it's more Halloween than it is Christmas for me personally.
But we're not here to talk about that, really.
No, we're not. No. So James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
I know people are going to be like, "How have you not seen it?" Obviously, I know they've rolled out books. I'm not oblivious to the fact that this kid travels wherever. Oh, actually, I didn't know we were going from England to New York. I didn't know that. I just knew we got on a giant peach. Somehow it had some steps, and they were flying on some seagulls somewhere with loads of insects. That's literally all I knew. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
Like, anything else of the story?
No, I don't think, like I say, not many people have seen this film to be like, oh yeah, how come you've not seen this one? But it's kind of like stuck with me throughout from a young age, and then seen it multiple times now. It's kind of like good to come back to this one and see certain things through a different eye, more so one of the main points that keeps coming up and up and up in this, the threat, should we say, and it's kind of lingering through the whole storyline. Well, for those of you who don't know, obviously James is has a happy little life at the beginning, doesn't he? He's living with his parents by the seaside.
I thought the way that he was going to run away on the beach, kind of like leaving his family, was because he didn't want to go to New York. I thought maybe he was happy with the life he had, and was miserable when he went to New York with his parents, and then he got on the beach. I'd forgot that he had aunties.
Oh, okay. Had you read the book at all?
Yeah, probably had done.
Yeah.
To be fair, my favourite was the big BFG. This one for me, with James and the Giant Peach, merged. I think I roughly watched Bug's Life, so I don't know if it was on TV or something as well. And then that kind of merges the two in together because they're just both about bugs. But I do know, Bug's Life is I was obsessed with the Bug's Life when I was little.
Yeah.
To the point of where McDonald's did the toys.
Yeah, I remember them made that.
And I would go over to McDonald's and ask them and say, I don't want a Happy Meal, I just want the toy. Can I pay for the toy, please? Don't give me the food, I just want the toys. And there was one that I couldn't get.
Do you remember what it was?
Mm-hmm, my favourite.
Dot.
Yeah. How did you know?
Because I know you.
I was gutted. I searched until it ran out, and then I still didn't get her. I had everybody else, even had the bloody grasshopper. I didn't want him. He scared me when I was younger.
Oh yeah, he was a scary character. But
so this element within the film could be scary, I guess, for a little child with James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah. There's dark tones in this.
There is, actually.
Yeah, for what the looming presence is.
But this rhino...
Yeah.
We had to pause, didn't we? Because I didn't understand what was going on. We were just on a beach, and it was sat talking about New York, and then the sky turned moody and ominous, and it was like, okay, what's happened? Where's his parents gone? I went to you and went, is this actually happening? Because they're saying a rhino has attacked his parents. Well, you didn't see the rhino, you just saw him in the clouds.
Yeah.
And it's unless there was... So you had to pause it, didn't you, and go back. And I'm it's still not self-explanatory, this isn't for me. I haven't seen what's happened to his parents, nor have I seen the fact that they've been to New York.
They didn't even get to New York.
Well, did they go on an adventure tour and go and see some rhinos and they ate him? Because...
Well, I mean, we all know that rhinos aren't known for being carnivorous or anything in the first place, so that's...
Unless they charged at it. The other one we thought was the car accident, didn't we? We did think...
That's what we kind of thought, and especially as certain lines that come creeping up later on, when he's with the aunts and they say to him, oh, your father had his head in the clouds instead of looking where he was going, so it kind of implies that a big beefy car that was metaphorically a rhinoceros because of it being so big or wherever and killed his parents or something. That's the explanation there, but maybe. But then I thought, well, because of this whole storm, clouds, and obviously being loud thunder and lightning being a representation of rhinoceros to James there in that sense, but I don't know. I still don't really know why a rhinoceros exactly, because the way you could do it...
Do you mean his aunties are like a rhinoceros?
No. I'm just meaning that it's a thunderstorm that killed his parents.
Oh, struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Right. Or
that could be
they were on the beach
explanation or something, and that just happened, and then because it's rumbling and and rhinos can charge in loud.
Or it could be a storm where, because they're on the beach, so it could be that the storm came in and the tides as well and swept them away. Still think it's a car crash, to be fair.
But it could be either already. Those are both theories that could work. But I know in the book, the way it's worded is they went to the London Zoo and a rhinoceros was charging and I think trampled them or something.
I prefer that. At least that's right, okay, I know what's happened. They've been trampled by a rhino. It's unrealistic, but I know what's happened, so it's fine. Yeah.
But if you wanted a non-carnivorous animal to eat you, if you said a hippopotamus, that would make more sense because
hippopotamus for Christmas.
They've actually got big mouths that could, eat people, but don't know why he chose Rhino, to be honest. Roald Dahl, but we'll never know, I suppose.
Rhino was charging. It doesn't actually say he was ate by a rhino in the book, so they've twisted it in the movie. So that's not Roald Dahl's fault.
No, it's not.
That's whoever's created the movie.
Henry Selick.
Whoever he is.
We also directed Coraline as well, so...
True. So not Tim Burton then?
No, he was a producer in it. And he didn't... And for the longest time, as most people might have thought, that Tim Burton directed Nightmare Before Christmas, but that's not true. It's kind of just...
I thought that.
Well, no, I did initially thinking, but then I'm like, hang on a minute. Why are people misconstruing this information that he's that maybe, because it does say Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas might have been his idea, his concept for it, but it's not him who directed it. So
this is me going silent because I'm taking in what you're saying.
Yeah.
But if that was somebody's idea, doesn't matter who directed it. It's still Tim Burton's idea. So if without his idea, the film wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's more. You could say, oh, it was Tim Burton's directed this film. It's no, it isn't. It's Henry
Tim Burton's idea.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right. I love how Sophie just puts it into basic terms. This is what it is. So
James is now swiftly. He's now at his aunt.
Well, it's an orphan.
An orphan, so yeah, he has to go to his aunt's.
Which the weirdest aunties in the world. Yeah. Like, your aunties are meant to be nice.
So I don't know whose side of the family they were from, but
oh, God knows. But they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. They remind me of the ugly sisters in Cinderella.
Yeah.
That kind of like horrible, kind of just malice, not nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who would take on a little boy and not feed him and make him do all the crappy chores? Like Harry Potter, like you said, got off lightly.
Yeah. He had a nice cupboard to live in under, and James has this like cell room essentially, doesn't he?
And he doesn't really get burdened, apart from getting yelled at and shoved in the cupboard and isolated on his own. So we see this relationship panning out, and it's not great with his aunties. He's not happy in St. James.
No.
And then this man out of nowhere, little suspecty character. I feel like he looks like a little bit like a leprechaun.
Oh, before we get to that, there's the bit where we have the first fantastic song.
Oh no, I forgot about that. I was like, oh, if this is going to carry on this way, we're not going to get along.
It's definitely the weakest one of the bunch. But it doesn't help because of our lead, James, is singing along, and it's just you can just tell.
He says his name, James. It's like, yes, we know it's James and the Giant Peach. We don't need you saying your name.
Yeah, my name is James. Yep, we gathered.
But it was horrible. It was really bad singing.
Child singing. Yeah, it's not like it was like like a school play or something. It's like
it was worse than that because he was trying.
Mm.
Like normally, a child at a school play is like just not half-heartedly giving it some.
You don't think he could have said, right, maybe do another take of that, perhaps? No. If that was the best one they had, just think what the other one sounded like.
It seems okay when we get to the other scenes, though, when we do have singing scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's because we've got more adult kind of voice covers for the insects and everything that it does bowed out to not be so irritable.
Yeah. Then, so shortly after that thing, because he has the little spider in his room, doesn't he? And then he makes this little makeshift like lantern thing and sends it out into the night and everything. And then his aunts come in the room next day and like see the spiders and have a freak out about it.
Yeah,
so I don't think even you like go to that extreme of wildly screaming your head off and when you see a spider.
No, but it was big, to be fair, it was. I don't like spiders, but I am trying to be in a better place with them because I don't want, when we have a child, to knock that into them at an early age that you have to scream at a spider. Yeah. I want them to get to a point of where it's a spider, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't like the big spiders or the ones that jump. It's like, if it's going to come at me quickly, then I don't like it. Like, so we have this conversation now, me and spiders do, don't we? I walk into the room, I go, hello, Mr. Spider. by the time that I come back into this room, I would like you to have gone away.
Yeah.
If you don't go away, I can't promise what's going to happen. It depends on whereabouts you are.
Mm-hmm.
If he's on the floor, sorry, listeners, he's probably not going to stick around for much longer, is he? But if he's on the ceiling or anything like that, it's like, okay, you know your distance. You're social distancing from me. Whereas if he's on the floor, it's too much to run at me. But no, I wouldn't be so dramatic of flailing. I think there's just been one time we used to, in our old house, used to be a spider that used to kind of crawl into the skirting board. And he was really, really big.
Right.
He would make me scream.
Okay.
He felt like a mini tarantula. Well, you're making me feel itchy just thinking about it.
We'll move on.
Spiders are horrible.
Yeah. So after this point, he rescues the spider, and then this man then appears out of nowhere.
Freakishly looking, leprechaun-y kind of.
The narrator, I guess you could say, yeah.
He just looks really dodgy, like talking to this little boy. Like, he looks a bit wrong.
Yeah, then I thought maybe it's all in his head that he's just having a bit of a delusion, because of him being so isolated in this grim setting that he's in. He's maybe just having this hallucination or something.
How does he get the magic beans or whatever you want to call them?
The crocodile tongues, which are clearly not crocodile tongues because they're little green glowing
midgy worms,
gamma radiating maggots, essentially. Which are moving there. So even when I was younger, I'm thinking, how can they be crocodile tongues? Because a crocodile is massive. No way are they little
maybe the baby crocodile tongues.
He didn't specify. He didn't say baby crocodile tongues. He just said crocodile tongues.
Well, you keep telling me you don't need to be that realistic in these things. It doesn't need to be like that. Ha!
But maybe
got you.
It's like what's that flower we've got in the garden? Grandma's bonnet or something, which is like, it doesn't look like a grandma's bonnet, does it?
It does. When it flowers.
Okay, well, it's just like one of those things. It's not essentially what it represents type of thing.
Yeah, it does when it flowers. At the moment, no, it doesn't. But when it flowered, it did look like a little old lady's bonnet.
Okay.
More like a fairy's bonnet in my head, though, to be fair.
Okay.
Like what a little pixie would wear.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But I know what you're meaning. I do get you, because there's certain things we do call which you just think, why is that?
Mm-hmm.
Then, to be fair, I can go into the whole thing of, where did the word chair come from? Or sky? Who thought? Like, whenever we were created, that's the sky. How did they know?
What, the word, yeah, why did they call it that? Yeah.
This really can screw me over. Like, I can think about this for a while and wonder why.
Yep.
Unless I just think of creation and God creates it and then he created all the words. That's the easiest explanation, but I don't think that's true.
No. But he has this bag of crocodile tongues, and then he's, like, marvellous things will happen.
Yeah, and then he drops him.
Yeah.
So, like, what marvellous thing was that then? And obviously, I would love this out as a keen gardener at the moment, because of our garden.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being able to make something super grow.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I plant seeds and I'm like, nothing's happening. And I'm like, it's been a week now and nothing's growing. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not working. And I get disheartened. Whereas, like, this, you could just put this crocodile's tongue on a seed and it would grow.
But it would grow too big, probably, for your liking.
It's fine.
Like a Jack and the Beanstalk type of thing.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're struggling for flowers for his wedding. It would have loads if we did that.
Yeah, true.
Probably wouldn't be able to carry him down the aisle, though, if it was as big as that peach.
Yeah. So this is where the peach grows to this ridiculous size.
Well, I actually didn't know how the peach got that big.
Right.
So that was like a mystery to me. But then I feel like it didn't really matter really how I knew, because it didn't really add much, did it, that part of the story with this man? Because you don't see him again afterwards, do you?
No, not until the end.
Do you see him at the end?
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Such a light-hearted film that I can't even comprehend the fact that there's a beginning, middle and end.
So then the greedy aunts decide to make some money out of...
Well, what would you do if you had a big peach in your garden?
Well, I think because it's like, they're talking about old money, essentially, with it. So it's like, it's like a fairground attraction for them. So it's like very simpler times for, to get people engaged with. It's not like today's things.
I don't think people would come to see a big peach nowadays.
No, they just see a picture of it on Instagram or something.
Yeah, but okay, don't need to pay for that now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's going for, really. So I don't really know what today's standard should be like. Probably like, I'll just live off it for forever.
Is that? But it'll go off, won't it?
Yep.
So you can't live off it forever.
Well, not, you know what I mean, like for a very long time until it was like no longer.
So you'd make like peach pie.
Yeah.
You love peach drinks, don't you?
Yeah, do.
So you do that then?
Yeah. Freeze them. I don't know.
I don't think you can freeze them. God, you get this off your dad. You do. You can't freeze lettuce. So why would you be able to freeze a peach?
Yeah, frozen fruit in the freezer aisle.
Like strawberries and raspberries. I don't know.
Yeah. The peach isn't as watery as you think.
It's juicy.
Yeah, exactly. Like a peach lollipop. A ice lolly you could make.
So this is where the movie gets going, I think, for me.
Yeah.
And you get these lovable characters, because James, I know he's your main man, but I ain't feeling anything on James's part. I don't even feel really that sorry for him. I know that sounds horrible, like a cold, heartless bitch.
His parents got eaten by a rhino.
That's not real, is it? Sorry, if anybody's parents...
Aunts love to hang over him every opportunity they can. They bring it up like, this is all mentally scarring him, like, oh, the rhino will come and get you. So God knows what it's doing to his mental state.
Back then, that wasn't... Like, people wouldn't even think that, though, would they? Like, mental awareness wasn't even a thing back then. It should have been, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I don't think he's my favourite character.
Well, that's fine. I understand.
Why do I never have a favourite character that's the lead? What is this?
I don't see that as being a problem, because I get what you mean by he's not the strongest. No, he's the name on the title, obviously, but he's not the most interesting one of the lot. You've got all the other characters that...
Which the insects are the most interesting.
Yep. So I'll give you a little overhaul of the names of the voice actors on it, because obviously, seeing as younger, I've no clue as to who was voicing who, and obviously... What are you laughing at?
You said, when I was younger, and I'm like, I still don't have a clue. What are you trying to say about me here, Paul? I don't have a clue.
No, I just made it more conscious effort to go, oh, I wonder who's doing the voice of that, because...
Well, can I be a part of this, please? Can I say the insect's name?
Yeah, you can... Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Okay. Who are we going to start with then?
Is it Mr. Grasshopper?
Yeah. He's voiced by Simon Callow, who was... Do you remember... Say the name, Gareth from 4 Weddings and a Funeral. He's like one of the older...
You're the brown-haired one that died?
No, he's like the grey-haired one.
The one that pretends to have a heart attack?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. He's the one that's kind of like consistently at these weddings anyway.
Yeah. Then I'm going to spice it up. We have Spider,
who's voiced by Susan Sarandon. I looked up films you might have known her in, but all I could really come up with was Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I haven't even seen it.
So yeah,
that's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
A good start, Paul. Yeah. I just know she sounds like a sexy French spider.
Yeah, I don't know why, because
weird.
She's not French or...
Why has she travelled that far? Like, I don't understand.
Putting on a voice for that, I don't really know.
I don't know why she's French. Looks like she's got a beret on as well.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Then you've got Earthworm.
He's voiced by one of my favourite actors, David Thewlis, Professor Lupin from Harry Potter.
Did you know he's one of your favourite actors?
Recently, yeah, it's kind of like...
It's not from Harry Potter, is it?
No, but he's done a lot of consistently good work in other films, so...
He's very good.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Does that mean you love Harry Potter more now?
What do you mean?
Just because he's in it.
That's a good
season.
Season. Is he in? How many?
I know he'll be in more. So I think he was in the last one we saw, and then I think he's helps more at the back end.
Okay, fair enough.
So you'll see him more.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so he's good, and he's I'll say now, he's my favourite character in this.
What, the erotic earthworm? That's like...
Neurotica, yeah.
It's like, I don't know what to do with myself. Yeah. And he whines every way.
Yeah.
Really? Favourite character?
Yeah, I find it funny, anyway.
I have a favourite character, but we haven't got to him yet. I gave that away, didn't I?
What? No, you got 2 more.
3 more?
Oh, no, 3 more, sorry, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I've given it away because I said I haven't said him yet.
Okay, it's a centipede then.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go on to the centipede.
Please. I didn't know. I was like, when you're saying that you thought it was sounding familiar, but then when I looked up who it was, I'm thinking you wouldn't really know from... I certainly wouldn't know really from the voice, but it is Richard Dreyfuss, who played Hooper in Jaws. You know, the marine biologist, or who came into, was brought in to help with obviously the shark attack.
Yeah, even though I thought it was the one that got dragged off a boat initially.
No, that was Quint. Yeah.
No, I think he's my kind of favourite, even though he's
a bit of a Billy bullshitter.
Yeah, he is. But at the end of it, he has got a heart of gold.
Mm.
And you can kind of see that he's just wanting to impress people, even though he doesn't need to. He can just be himself.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think he comes out the kind of up trumps. Yeah. Then you've got Mrs. Ladybird or Ladybug.
Yeah, for Americans. Yeah.
Don't understand. It's Ladybird. That's what I've been brought up with saying. And all the way through this, I'm not going to be saying Ladybug. Okay.
She's played by Jane Leeves. It's kind of ironic. Who is Daphne from Frasier, Dr. Crane.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see that.
They're being very rude. I can't abide rudeness.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good, that is. You're doing me in today with all these voiceovers. I'm expecting all of this. And then, lastly, Glowworm.
Who is... I struggled to actually find, on IMDb, it wasn't really clear, but after a bit further investigation, turns out it's actually the person who plays Aunt Sponge doing the voice of the Glowworm as well. I guess they're just cutting costs, something there, can you just do a voice of this very minor character? Because obviously she didn't really get much to do in it, really, other than just I've put your light on.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's her duty, yeah.
So who is that, sorry?
Oh, Miriam Margolyes, I think is...
Anything I would know? No.
No, more just comedy stuff, just Aunt Spike, who's played by Joanna Lumley. She does those documentaries.
Yes, she does. Did she do the one to Japan?
She did, yeah.
Oh, we had to slip that one in there, didn't we?
Yes. I think people not say that, but it's can't not go an episode without mentioning Japan, can we?
No, almost. Really can't. I feel like it should be a drinking game or something now, where people take a shot every time we say the word Japan.
Yeah. So then, I think around this point we have the second song, don't we? We're talking about a place where they want this idyllic lifestyle, whatever each of them individually wants.
Yeah.
Which then gets cut short by the aunts coming out to investigate where the hell James is doing outside. He's supposed to be picking up litter or something. He wasn't supposed to get in the peach, or the rhino will get him.
This rhino crops up and it's you're in the countryside in England. There's no chance that this rhino is going to come and get you.
As the grasshopper says, there are no rhinoceri here.
Yes, and he's right.
Yeah.
So what I do love about this is you've got obviously live action, and then it's
stop motion
within it.
Yeah.
I do sway to more the stop motion, even though I think James, I don't know, he lets it down. I love the way...
Even with his stop motion?
His stop motion one, yeah. Oh. I prefer the insects. They look so much more realistic compared to his design.
Well, I guess that's to be expected because you can make them a bit more fantastical, really, because obviously they're disproportioned creatures, aren't they, really?
And they've got clothes on and the insects wouldn't. But I just think... he looks a bit more lackluster in all of that.
Just kind of just a big head, isn't he, on a small body?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's a bit bizarre.
Yeah, and beady eyes and everything, yeah.
So I really like, out of all the insects, I would say Ladybird is...
Design.
Yeah. And the centipede. And the grasshopper is your traditional, like, they always think is quite classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but for me, the little old ladybird style and the centipede, even though I hate centipedes as an insect.
Right, okay.
I'd think that they were the best kind of designed work. What were your favourites?
I mean, like the earthworm is in the way his character is. His design is pretty much what can you do with an earthworm, really?
I'm surprised you like the earthworm because you hate worms.
Oh no, but
like you don't like worms at all.
No.
Like, tell them why.
Well, my dad used to pick them up in the garden when I was younger and just like dangle them in my face for some reason.
Can you imagine your dad doing that? But yeah, no, I guess that I can understand. I won't like somebody dangling something in my face, really. But they're not that harmful. They're just weird that if you cut them up, they just become two people.
Was it? This is a line, you laughed at it as well.
I did.
Split him right down the middle. I have two half brothers.
I loved the humour in this as well. I thought that was quite golden.
A good selling point for this one as well. And especially with a more adult mind, you're kind of picking up jokes I wouldn't necessarily would have gotten as...
They'd have gone...
So it's quite funny. Yeah, it was quite...
Yeah, definitely really clever the way the humour is put in. It's for adults and children.
Mm-hmm. But to answer your actual question, I think really the most interesting is probably Spider's design.
Why?
Well, it's kind of like incorporating like the boots as part of her legs.
True, yeah. And then she's got like a cotton reel.
Yeah, as part of it to make the silk.
Yeah.
From a web, yeah. So now we'll obviously move on a bit now. Obviously they managed to get from down the hill, roll down everything. And our necessity is like, well, this is obviously like model sets where it's the Peach is rolling down.
Even though it squishes the auntie's car, and it's like, how are they not dead? It's a big giant Peach which is going to weigh a ton.
Yeah.
Why are they not dead by now? Yeah. I do love the fact that they end up in the ocean.
Right. And
that they say we're in the middle of a big puddle. Like, just the idea of the way that they think of it, because obviously... For the insects, a puddle will be like the same equivalent as the sea.
Yeah, although it does refer to it as the Pacific Ocean. So there are those things that, like, it's always tricky with things like this. It's like, it's 1 minute the characters seem to know like how most of the real world works, but then there's some points like, oh, what's this concept that you're bringing to me? Like, you've never even heard of this. It's sometimes hard to distinguish, and it happens in a lot of like kids' TV shows, films, whatever. But you kind of I guess have to overlook it sometimes, really, just to
enjoy what it is.
The writing, how it's written.
So they're going from London to New York on a Peach, and to be fair, that is a long trip. They're not going to get there that fast.
No, certainly not by floating in the sea. So. They have to go airborne.
With seagulls! I like seagulls. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with seagulls, especially in the UK, because obviously they steal your chips at the seaside. But I quite like them. I don't hate them.
No, not even from seeing them in the birds.
That wasn't their fault. No, I'm okay with birds. Okay. I love birds. And they came in handy, didn't they, in James and the Giant Peach? I mean...
And seemingly never needing to eat or rest at any point.
Yeah,
I kind of figured, like, well, how are these things still flying? Yeah. Just kept going, the machines.
But I thought favourite scene for you was trying to get the seagulls lassoed or whatever you want to call it onto the Peach.
With the earthworm as bait.
Yeah.
So he's like, whinging and moaning about that, really. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, he whines and moans about pretty much everything.
Yeah, he's very neurotic.
Yeah, he's like the anxiety one of the group, where if he thinks anything can go wrong, he's the one that's going to think.
I don't know. That's what makes me laugh about it. Just because it's like so dramatic about everything.
I guess that's me though, isn't it? A little bit.
Maybe not to that extent. Yeah.
I am a bit of a health and safety freak though. When I can see a disaster waiting to happen, can't I?
Yeah, but and this is also at this point where this mechanical shark comes out of nowhere.
Which seems really bizarre to me. Like you were saying, it's a shark, and it's like, well, if it's a shark, why isn't it a shark? Seagulls look like seagulls.
Yeah. Why is the shark a robot? Yeah.
Just throwing like daggers into the peach. The only explanation I have is that his aunties have got a submarine or something.
It seems weird that it like going around this sort of school of tuna. It's pointed out as, and then it kind of spits out these plates of fish heads that he was offered when he was at the aunt's house. So it's some kind of weird manifestation of his aunt's link. Maybe some some fear distilled into him that his aunts are still potentially after him or something.
Which is true, they are.
Yeah. So maybe it's that again, some other hallucinogenic thing that he's experiencing this as he's making his way to New York.
Gosh, this is more of a deep and meaningful movie than I imagined.
Yeah. I think in the book I believe it was like literally just sharks rather than just a big.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So obviously then a case of like get a load of seagulls now and somehow gets them all, and then they all go up in the air, and then he has a big panic attack when the shark cuts like 5 of them. Seagulls fly off. Like, oh no, they're getting away. Like, what? I mean, I just leave them.
Yeah. Unless the peach was sinking downwards and you're like, oh crap, we need those.
I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, to be fair, but it's kind of just a means of so the ladybird could have a little swinging with the handbag of these attacking.
Well, she was savvy. Like, she needed her little kind of diva warrior moment.
Yeah.
Also, the 5 seagulls might have meant that they got there quicker. It's like a car, isn't it? Would you need £5 of petrol, but if you only running low and that £5 is going to get you to where you need to go.
Yeah.
But not advertising that you shouldn't only have £5 of petrol in your tank because you'll not get anywhere.
No. Now they're up in the air and everything. And it kind of said to you, kind of thinking about it, reminds me of Up with the house in the balloons. So
even though I'm pretty sure James and the Giant Peach was first.
Yes, it was. Most definitely. Because you knew when I saw Up, so.
Was you really?
Yeah. Probably said that in the episode.
Probably did. It just means I didn't remember it.
Back and listen to that.
Definitely go back and listen to it. It doesn't mean that it was because I didn't remember you saying that's not valuable.
No. And then they're kind of like, oh, I'm hungry and everything.
And then like, oh, we're going to die and stuff. Because the last piece of bread had been fought over by the grasshopper and the centipede. But obviously James, being the amazing James that he is, was like, oh, well, we've got loads of food. Well, to be fair, I'd get sick of eating peach, to be honest. After a bit. I know it's nice, it is. But after a certain amount of peaches...
Yeah, certainly that... there was the carer from Parasite wouldn't appreciate it. She wouldn't even get anywhere close. She ever like a
allergic
reaction to the whole thing. She wouldn't be on that journey at all.
That is true. I do appreciate the spider, how caring she is towards James. Like, I feel like she takes on a little bit more of the mother role than...
Yeah, they all seem to have the values in it. Like, the centipede is like the father, the spider's the mother. The earthworm is like uncle.
Earthworm, sorry, I thought you meant glowworm. That's what I'm like, she's female. No. What are you on about?
She'll be like an aunt. And then the grasshopper and ladybird are grandma and grandpa, respectively.
Yeah, I can see that, actually. That's a really good analogy, that is.
Yeah. So the family, this is, I think, the whole thing, really. It's the family that he never had.
Yeah.
Really, only, the replacement for them. So I'm glad you kind of brought that up because I meant to bring that point across. But at this point, obviously, now we're having another sing-song about how all these different foods that they've had, that the insects have had for their lifetime, whatever. But again, like, I thought you were vegetarian and you're talking about eating rhinos. And which is kind of funny it's been brought up.
Yeah.
Like, again, rhino, and then we've got this other rhino thing and things like that. Again, it's like it's just obviously just written for means of a song, but it doesn't make sense in the context of
the rhino being quite prominent as well within the film.
No, not so much that, just more these things that like it doesn't make sense that they'd be eating that because they're insects. They'd just be eating leaves and like other insects, especially the spider. Yeah. Which is another point because of the fact of how
she normally eats ladybirds,
which she kind of brings up when she's like I said better than ladybirds, says better than aphids, and then the spider says better than ladybugs, whatever. And it's like what?
Yeah,
it's like interesting. And then there's also the fact that shortly after that, the spider was with James, like tucking him to bed and everything. He says like, "Oh, it's good to have friends, don't you think?" And she's like, "Oh no, I'm kind of more of a loner, really." But you've been hanging around with these other insects this whole time. Never seemed to be a problem. Like as if you're like, "Oh, I didn't want to be around these guys." She was like joining in with all the activities and stuff. So it's.
I think it's more she just assumed that people like would push her aside, so she's got that barrier up. I love how defending the spider.
I know, but yeah, because most other ones are all like vegetarian to a degree.
And I think she kind of finds it hard to let people in because if they're normally pushing her away, thinking she's gonna be vicious or whatever, and she's tarnished with that before she even starts life because of just what she is.
Yeah, don't know. It just seems a bit odd for a thing to say, but it doesn't reflect that in it as such. Maybe she seems to be like after the centipede, really. Maybe just because it's kind of getting on her nerves, but
I think there's a little romance blossoming in there. It's really cute.
Obviously, by the end, it's more obvious of that.
Yeah.
But then we get on to obviously James having a dream in this like 2D cutout style dream sequence, and then his aunts are there again with the rhino trying to get him. It's like, yeah, we know the rhino is a threat.
Yeah, this is a bad enemy that
he can't overcome. He's got the troubles, the woes.
Yeah, and it's kind of the rhino is kind of the driving point throughout this, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So after James wakes up, they kind of dawn on everybody that they're quite cold, a bit chilly. Like, whereabouts are we? Yeah. And it looks like they're in the Antarctica or something like that. It's gone the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And Centipede has kind of talked the talk, but not being able to walk the walk.
Yeah.
So to speak. Grasshopper is like definitely must be like his father figure, like you're saying, because he rips into him something chronic, like proper has a go at him.
Well, yeah.
For taking him the wrong way. They're all saying they're going to die because obviously didn't expect to be travelling that long. The seagulls are now frozen.
Yeah, got icicles on them. I like that touch, but again, it's like, how are they not like dead?
Yeah. They haven't ate anything or rested, and now they're frozen.
Yeah.
But then, really, to be fair, wouldn't the books have frozen up as well?
Yeah.
Like, I know they've been inside a peach, but
you could say about what happened shortly after, where they go under the water to get the compass. Like, pretty sure they wouldn't be able to swim or even, let alone breathe, in icy water, no less.
Exactly.
Yeah, they still, and James especially is like, he's a young boy who pretty like die instantly almost. But yeah, he's still.
But then it's for children. It's a children film.
Yeah.
Adds value to the movie. Take it for what it is. And I know I don't normally say that, but yeah, you can't kind of go too nitty-picky into it, I guess, can we?
No. And this is where we have a little cameo from Jack Skellington.
I forgot about him.
This
I
time,
didn't even twig on when I was watching it, because I think it's one of those films where it's so light-hearted. You don't have to concentrate, so sometimes like that, things like that can be easily missed because your eyes are not really focusing as much.
But like for me, especially the fact that I hadn't really seen Nightmare Before Christmas, but I knew that he was a character in that. So I'm there going, that's odd. There's like a thing that looks like that other thing that's in that another character that's in that other film that I haven't seen, but this was just younger. So, and then learn to the fact, obviously, that it's the same director who did it, so therefore it's kind of like just like putting him in this little cameo appearance.
Well, they do that in Disney's, don't they, to be fair? I'm sure, like in Monster Inc., she's got a teddy, and it's like...
Oh no, yeah, Pixar, yeah, where they do like the Finding Nemo. It's like what the next film's gonna be, and
yeah,
that's
what I meant.
Yeah,
I always
Disney, but yeah, it's sort of the umbrella, but not quite. Yeah, they went to do their own thing, but. Incidentally, this was Disney produced, and actually really know that, but
it's not on Disney Plus.
Not on our Disney Plus. I don't know why it isn't, but anyway. So then there's the Spider and James are there to do a rescue mission to get Centipede back with the compass.
And I think that works really well. That's like kind of like a value added scene where all the relationships kind of come together once they kind of go after the Centipede.
Mm-hmm.
Become a happy little family, and when they get back, I think even Spider kisses Centipede, and he becomes a bit of a hero because he's got the compass.
Yeah.
Even though, to be fair, if he hadn't lied, he could have probably been on the right tracks a long time ago.
Again, something I didn't really pick on with the fact that how he like knew all these places but never been to them was the fact that he lived. I think he said he lived in between like 2 pages of National Geographic magazine, so it's kind of that kind of makes sense, because if he's an insect and he just like that's where he's living, that it's kind of like he just seeing pictures on a page and learning about it that way. That's how he's getting his information. So that's kind of a clever way of explaining that.
Yeah, it is, and he might think, well, that's quite close to this.
Misconstrued information. That's why he doesn't know like why there's 5 C's, because he might not have looked at a different page.
Yeah,
where there wasn't. Yeah, it would say in 7 the other 2 or something. So
next page or something.
Yeah. So now they get out of there, and you're kind of getting almost to the end now, where they get to New York City, but not before another song.
And a rhino.
Family.
Yeah,
it's an okay song. It's not.
Yeah, it gives you the kind of little bit of the feels, doesn't it? But not much, and it's like
I don't really. I'm
not really a great fan of singing in films, which is...
What about what is currently your favourite Singing in the Rain?
No, but I mean, that's like that's a classic.
Okay.
Can't even compare James and the Giant Peach to Singing in the Rain. I'm more mean like Disney kind of Pixar / kid films singing.
Yeah.
I just think it's really weak for me. Yeah. Like, we watched Frozen 2 and it was all singing, like, oh, for goodness sake, we ended up just fasting it.
Yeah.
And then fasting it.
I want the story, this what's this adding?
And the songs go on forever.
Yeah, definitely get what you mean there.
Whereas, like, the Singing in the Rain ones are, like, short, keep your attention span, they're not too long. Like, Good Morning's probably, like, the longest one.
The one, but it's more of a whole dance sequence, when he's explaining the...
You've got visuals, they're not just standing there singing, are they?
Yeah.
So it works better.
Okay. Yeah, so then after they get just before that song is just before they get to see New York, and then like yes we're here kind of thing, and they're all excited, and then this again reinforcing this thunderstorm idea of
the rhino
coming. So that's like maybe that's the representation of it being a thunderstorm, really. So it makes at that point seems more stronger than the car theory, but it's like. Just kind of like trying to marry it up as to what makes the most sense. But...
I think it's more the fact now in my head. Probably it's the car accident, but the thunderstorm is when James figured out.
Possibly,
and so that's his connection to it of those parents'
on a stormy
death.
night. So it might have happened on a stormy night, maybe
in a car crash.
Yeah.
And he links to that. So like when it's thundering and lightning.
Yeah.
That kind of comes back to him with where the rhino comes in. I think that's just like an analogy to his parents dying. I don't think it's actually anything to do with the rhino at all.
Yeah. No, so this is a point where he kind of like overcomes his
and the weak line of "I'm not afraid of you." Like, good on you. Don't be afraid of anything. Yeah. But when you say you're not afraid of something, do it with a bit more oomph than James. Yeah. Like, if you're not afraid of something, then be. Like, definitely not afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Not just half-assed it.
Okay.
That line, it was like I'd have wanted that boy to have done that 10 different takes.
Not good enough.
No, not good enough.
Yeah. So I think the storm breaks, but it also breaks the strings of the seagulls, and then they all go plummeting.
All comes crashing down from the sky. magically James is just fine, isn't he? He ended up on the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
And you're like, where are all the other bugs?
Yeah.
What's happened to them? But Ladybird should be okay because she's got wings.
Yeah, but they're all hanging to the strings. That's how they come back down.
Spider should be fine because obviously she's got webs.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they seem all magically to be fine because they're on the seagulls.
Yes, because James told them to climb up into the rigging to be safe from. So then he manages to get down from the Empire State Building. Obviously, it's like a big phenomenon to everybody. This big peach in the Big Apple.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Maybe it should have been a Big Apple. James and the Big Apple, because they're going to America, aren't they?
It seems a bit too American, maybe, that title.
Well, true, to be fair, true. But, we're having Ladybug instead of Ladybird. That annoys me because it's in a British movie. Mm-hmm. It's a British book. Why are we saying Ladybug? Mm-hmm. We don't say that.
No. So he comes down, but then somehow his aunts have somehow trekked across the entire ocean in this car.
Load of rubbish. That car would have died.
Yeah. How did it even... Yeah.
Yeah.
So managed to drive. So
it was like a James Bond by a big peach. So it's like, and it was gone through water, obviously, as well at this point, because it was seaweed and everything like that. When they got out of the car, there was water in it. So it's like, well, that would have been dead by now. It's just not feasible. No. What do you like about this scene is they kind of try and make James look a little bit like Doolally and insane, but actually in the end, the cop realises James is telling the truth because obviously the insects come.
Well, and he's kind of like saying, "Oh, yeah, I'll never go back to the place where he used to maybe do chores and beat me up and tell me I was nothing," kind of thing. It's like, well, certainly wouldn't fly today if you. If a child is saying that.
No. You'd be locked up if that was the case. Yeah.
So, but the insects come down, so he's obviously telling the truth about it all. They get taken away.
Everyone gets to eat peach because obviously it's gonna decay.
But this peach has been in salt water. It's been everywhere. It's
seagull shit on it. It should have because to be fair, did the seagulls not poo at all?
No,
this entire time should be covered up there.
For a bit more realistically, white frosting on top. Yeah. So everybody's all happy. They bring out their confetti from they've been storing away for such an occasion out the windows.
Like, who has just random confetti to throw out? Because I know I don't have any just stored in the cupboard just in case I need it.
Yeah, in case the Queen comes.
Yeah.
And then we're at the end of the story now. So they put the kids eat the peach, and now left to the pit of the stone, and then they just put it in Central Park.
Which I like, and they live in it, which you did say, though, for all of them that are in there, it's not big enough.
No, it's like a bit of a TARDIS.
Yeah, it must be. But then the peach, to be fair, was quite big, but it still was bigger inside than you thought it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the film, really.
In a peach shell.
Encased in a peach, yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a long way getting there for what I thought the episode was going to this episode was going to be, but I think we've covered all bases really. I think
most certainly.
Yeah,
I think it's a light-hearted watch. It's not too intense, even though Sophie didn't get some of it. I know from your point of view, it's coming from a bit more nostalgia, which I don't have.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
So obviously my score might reflect that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Can't knock it for the fact that it is stop motion.
That's definitely one of the strong points, and it still holds up. To be fair, very impressive in terms of. Look at Coraline as well. That's obviously it's years and years since after that came out, and that's still amazing. It's obviously more production value added into that one. Still impressed me. So it's. Oh, and I'm biased in a sense with the animation style anyway.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go first, scoring-wise. I think light-hearted, lovely to watch, simple, brilliant kind of stop motion. Mm-hmm. Basic kind of story, you know what the beats and the troughs are going to be of the film.
Yeah. If you've read the book, you know it's going to...
And so I don't think there's many surprises or any shockers in here. I'd probably just say a 7.
Okay.
I think it's lovely, but it's not making me want to go back again because I don't have that nostalgia part. Okay. It's not... Bug Life is... Boom!
Yeah.
10 for me, just because the nostalgia's there, I guess.
You could say, yeah. So for me, it's a little bit higher than that, just going on an 8, really.
Okay, I don't feel so bad.
No, it's not. It wasn't going to be a thing, because what lets it down now, I don't really care, even back then I didn't really care much for the songs, really.
No.
It's kind of like, well, you don't really need these.
Very weak.
Especially the very first song we have, and it's like, nails on the chalkboard kind of thing. And yeah, obviously, like I said, the selling points of the stop motion and the characters, which are kind of like, especially coming back to and learning who they are, voices and stuff. It's kind of opens it a bit more like, oh right, yeah, kind of know them from other films or TV series and stuff. So it's add something, another layer to it now, as opposed to what I would have done back then. It's just taking things at face value. And let's say it's kind of made me think about like what was the rhino actually supposed to be, type of thing. So it's kind of...
Don't think it helped that you have to pause. I mean, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
So no, I agree.
So that's just peachy.
I'm so grateful for everyone that's listened to us episode and the amount of times we've said peach.
Yeah. So thank you very much for listening. And of course, if you want to check out our other episodes, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and wherever else you might get your podcasts from. And of course, you can find us on social media, on Instagram and Twitter, under the handle SP_filmviewers. You might have noticed we've been doing some reels now on Instagram, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
A new way of branching ourselves out there a little bit. So it's more
still got a lot of research to do to know what we need to be doing. But yeah, we're getting there with them.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for those.
Hope you enjoy them.
And if you'd like to leave us a review, you can do that on Apple Podcasts, of course, or Podchaser is another place you can do that. It would be really appreciated. And of course, if you'd like to make a little small donation to us, there's our Buy Me a Coffee page, which is in the show notes and most of our profile bios and all that stuff. So, yeah, that'd be great if you could do that.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah. So, thank you very much for listening once again, and we will speak to you next time.
Speak to you next time.
Bye.